Hello dear viewers, welcome to this video on astrology where I'll be talking about Ketu Dev. According to Vedic astrology, Ketu is an invisible but extremely powerful planet. It is not a visible planet, yet its impact can bring major ups and downs in life. If we understand Ketu deeply, there is no doubt it opens the door to inner awareness and spiritual awakening. So now the question arises, how did Ketu originate? And why is Ketu considered a planet of liberation? Now let's talk about the origin of Ketu. There is a mythological perspective here. Ketu's origin is directly linked with the event of Samudra Manthan, which is also called churning of the ocean. The Samudra Manthan, when gods and demons churned the ocean to obtain Amrit, which is the nectar of immortality. When the nectar appeared, a huge dispute broke out over who would get to drink it. At that moment, Lord Vishnu took the form of Mohini to distribute the Amrit among the Devatas. But a clever and cunning demon, whom we now know as Rahu, disguised himself as a god and drank the nectar. As soon as Lord Vishnu noticed the trick, he used his Sudarshan Chakra to sever the demon's head. But by then the demon had already consumed the nectar, so both his head and body became immortal. From that moment, the head part was named as Rahu, and the headless body part was called Ketu. That is how the existence of Ketu began. In Vedic astrology, Ketu is regarded as a symbol of invisible power, mental enlightenment, and spiritual liberation. To know about Ketu's nature and planetary dynamics, Ketu is associated with the sign Pisces, which is ruled by Jupiter. That's why Ketu carries Jupiter qualities of protection, spirituality, and wisdom. Now, Ketu rules 3 nakshatras, Ashwini, Magha, and Mula. All these nakshatras are linked with the beginning, endings, and rebirth, which reflects Ketu's role in closing life cycles. Ketu is considered gender neutral and its nature is tamasic, intensely reactive, or lethargic in nature. Now, it is particularly associated with the lower parts of the feet, the area under the soles. Ketus get exalted in Aries zodiac and is debilitated in the Scorpio, which is the 8th zodiac, and of course 8th part of the birth chart. But one thing to keep in mind, Ketu's results are never constant. Its outcomes can change depending on aspects from other planets, the conjunction, or planetary periods, which is called dasas as well. Now talking about Ketu's friendly or hostile planets. Ketu considers Jupiter as a friend, the only planet which is a friend to Ketu. So if there is a strong connection with Jupiter, Ketu can give very positive results. But its relationship with the sun and moon is considered hostile. Even eclipses represent these relationships. So if Ketu is conjunct with sun or moon in the same house, it can disturb a person's self-awareness or emotional stability. Ketu is always placed in 180 degrees, exactly 7 houses opposite to Rahu. Ketu's planetary period, if we talk about dashas, it's last till 7 years. Now talking about the practical effects of Ketu in a person's life, which is depends on Ketu's placement, aspect, or conjunction. The effects may appear such as having scary dreams, shocks or sorrow related to sudden accidents or even deaths, as well as surgeries, skin-related problems, sudden gain of wealth, benefits from the children or the spouse. Sometimes the effect may be feeling distanced or emotionally disconnected from relatives. Sometimes being drawn towards isolation, spiritual practices, or an unusual lifestyle. Ketu's influence is not always negative. If Ketu is conjunct with benefic planets or connected to the ascendant lord or even the 5th lord, the person may gain supernatural intelligence, spiritual interest, or the ability to do deep research. Ketu can detach us from the outer world and turn our attention inward, and this is exactly why it is called the planet of liberation, which is also called moksha. Ketu specially symbolizes detachment, silence, a solitary lifestyle, freedom from the material cravings, and the search for mental peace. It often leads a person to prefer solitude, practice meditation, and walk the path of serious spiritual pursuit. When Ketu is strongly placed, especially in the 12th house of a chart, its effect is considered even more positive. There it awakens self-realization, control over senses, and a desire to attain liberation. It's a planet that takes away worldly attachments and leads one towards inner purity. Talking about general meanings and the characteristics of Ketu, Ketu mainly helps us detach from worldly attraction and walk the spiritual path. As we already know by now, it inspired practices like worship, meditation, vows of silence, and spiritual discipline. As a result, the person often becomes quiet, reserved, and drawn towards secret or mystical subjects. Now, let's go into knowing few symbols of Ketu. The symbols related to Ketu includes flags, smoke, shadows, torn or any scattered items. All this symbol shows that Ketu's effects are often unclear, unexpected, and bring sudden changes in life. Ketu is depicted as the tail of a serpent, which means Ketu brings unresolved karmas, unfinished lessons, and incomplete experiences from the past lives into this life to find resolution. That's why when Ketu is strong in a birth chart, one begins to feel a natural detachment from the world, a deep sense of renunciation, and a desire for spiritual freedom. In some people's lives, Ketu brings sudden breakups, loss of interest in material possessions, or a strong desire to break free from the outer attractions. These are all signs of Ketu's influence. On a psychological level, Ketu naturally makes a person introverted, secretive, and interested in subtle or hidden topics. In some cases, this excessive detachment can also cause anxiety, loneliness, or emotional dullness. But through the same path, one can enter the journey of spiritual awakening. In terms of the zodiac signs, Ketu gives particularly good results in number 9, which is Sagittarius, and number 12, the Pisces, as these signs are naturally inclined towards spirituality, philosophy, and religious interests. After the zodiac, let's know about Ketu's influence by houses. Ketu generally gives good result in the 3rd house, 6th house, 9th house, and 12th houses. Apart from that, the 1st house, 2nd house, 4th house, 5th house, 7th house, 8th house, 10th, or 11th houses, it can bring certain challenges such as identity issues, family misunderstandings, stress in child-related matters or marital relationships, or even social disconnection. Let's talk about the profession for Ketu. People influenced by Ketu are often drawn towards professions like spiritual teachers, monks, astrologers, researchers, doctors, surgeons, or social service workers. What about social inspiration? Ketu inspires people to engage in services at, let's say, old age homes, orphanages, ashrams, temples, or to help the marginalized. It also leads people towards charity and practices like vows of silence. Now, talking about the physical effects. Physically, Ketu is associated with the issues related to the spine, legs, and chronic illnesses. It can sometimes bring complicated or unclear health conditions, especially related to the urinary system or the need for surgical procedures. Ketu's day is Saturday. Its ruling deity is Bhairava, a fierce form of Lord Shiva. Worshipping Bhairava is believed to help neutralize Ketu's negative effects. Now let's talk about few conjunctions. Let's talk about Jupiter and Ketu first. The combination of Jupiter and Ketu is considered extremely auspicious. Ketu, just like Jupiter, is also a planet of teaching and wisdom. When these two comes together, Ketu becomes an active channel to spread Jupiter's knowledge among the masses. In short, if Jupiter is the knowledge, Ketu becomes the medium to distribute that knowledge. For example, when Jupiter and Ketu are in a positive union in someone's chart, that person often becomes a spiritual guru, guide to society, deep thinker, or a teacher of life philosophy. Now let's talk about Sun and Ketu conjunction. The Sun represents soul, ego, and personal pride. So when it combines with Ketu, this pairing can bring a tendency towards self-destructive behavior. There may be an inner conflict between confidence and surrender. Such individuals must always be mindful of their self-control, confidence, and decision-making. Now let's talk about Moon and Ketu conjunction. The Moon governs emotions, mind, memory, and sensitivity. When the Moon and Ketu come together, it can lead to emotional instability, mental restlessness, introversion, or self-centered thinking. Sometimes, even if such individuals appear fine on the outside, they may be suffering from the inner psychological stress or emotional conflicts. Let's know about Venus and Ketu conjunction. Venus relates to pleasure, relationships, love, and beauty. When combined with Ketu, there may be detachment from the physical pleasure, emotional dryness, or a pessimistic view of relationships. That means Ketu cuts down the positive effects of Venus in many cases. Now, these individuals may approach relationship with an overly spiritual or serious mindset, which could lead to distance or dissatisfaction in love life. Okay, about Mars and Ketu conjunction. Mars signifies courage, action, and the inner strength. When combined with Ketu, the person may become brave, fearless, and extremely determined. Such people often have a powerful lion-like personality. However, if this combination is negative, the person may become impulsive, aggressive, and argumentative. Sometimes they may be prone to unnecessary conflict through anger as well as risky behavior. Now, let's move into Mercury and Ketu conjunction. Mercury is the planet of intelligence, speech, calculations, communications, analysis, business. If Mercury is benefic, Ketu enhances sharp intellect, research ability, and brings deep analytical thinking. But if Mercury is malefic, this union can create confusion, indecisiveness, and mental instability. For example, Mercury is often seen as a prince who leads using his intelligence. But Ketu sometimes bring a sense of renunciation or surrender in that prince, which can make the person leave the throne and choose the path of spirituality. Now let's move into Saturn and Ketu conjunction. Saturn is the planets of karma, patience, trials, and time. When Saturn and Ketu combine, it can bring serious hardships, long periods of struggle, and deep self-examination. But if the person overcomes these challenges, they develop remarkable endurance, maturity, and spiritual growth. Such individuals can become role models for the society. Ketu's influence is generally strong until the age of 48, start from 24 years of age till 48. During this period, a person may go through major shifts in decision making, self-awareness, focus, and life direction. If Ketu is benefic, it can lead the native towards a new country, new place, and higher life goals. Now, let's know if Ketu is positive in a chart. Ketu's positive effects are not just limited to internal transformation, they also reflect in a person's behavior, work styles, and thought process. It doesn't just bring detachment, but actually guides the person on the path of spiritual liberation and gives a sense of pure consciousness. Now, let's see Ketu's role in childbirth related matters. Ketu's placement is very important in understanding matters related to children. Ketu is not directly responsible for childbirth, but to assess happiness, obstacles, or spiritual bonds with children, its house placement, aspects, and conjunction must be analyzed carefully. When Ketu is afflicted, it may cause delays in childbirth, loss of a child, or sometimes even family breakups or financial issues as well. If Ketu is connected to malefic planets, it's very likely that there will be financial weaknesses and lack of peace at home. When Ketu combines with benefic planets such as Jupiter, Mars, and Mercury, definitely in benefic states, then Ketu becomes highly auspicious and provides extraordinary support during tough times and boosts success. If the combination with Mercury is positive, there will be intellectual growth and opportunities for family progress. Now, Ketu in the 6th house, let's talk about that as well, because when Rahu in the 1st house helps the native in many ways, similarly, when Ketu is in the 6th house, Jupiter becomes good. Jupiter is not weak no matter where Jupiter is placed in the chart. Such a person's children always support their father, and there is a mutual dedication and help within the family. When Ketu is alone in the 6th house, even if things go well for the native, it might not be good for others, because the 6th house is Mercury's house, and Ketu is considered an enemy to Mercury and a friend to Venus. But in this house, Ketu's nature gets reversed. Here Ketu becomes friendly with Mercury and hostile towards Venus. Let's say if both Moon and Ketu are placed in the 6th house, it can affect the child's health. Especially during childhood, there may be chances of health problems as well. So special care and alertness regarding children are needed in such cases. Moreover, it's important to understand that Ketu is a malefic planet, so we should expect negative outcomes, especially when other planets like Mercury, Jupiter, or Moon are in the weak positions. This can create difficulties in life. When Ketu is connected with malefic planets like Saturn or even Rahu, it increases negative effect. In such situations, the native may be forced to live far from their birthplace. Although it might not directly bring death or fatal incidents, it can significantly affect one's stability in life and mental peace. If Jupiter is weak in the birth chart, Ketu also becomes weak, and the persons may face instability in career or employment. If Jupiter or Sun are afflicted by enemy planets, Ketu's effects can also turn negative. It can cause health problems in children, imbalance or breakup in the family, and instability in marital life. The negative influence of Ketu may cause the person to experience deception or confusion, develop a secretive nature, also work in hidden ways, and often create confusion between religion and worldly matters. Such a person may feel an internal conflict between their true desires and actual goals, which can make their life path appear unclear. If Mars, Mercury, or Jupiter, any of them, are in the 12th house, Ketu's effect can become weak. In such cases, the person may start exposing their own weaknesses, and there's a risk of low self-esteem. Similarly, if Venus and Moon together form a weak combination, Ketu also turns malefic, which may result in chronic skin conditions in children or even grandchildren. If Ketu is in the 5th house and Jupiter is in the 11th, there can be obstacles in childbirth, or one may not have children at all. Also, in that condition, the mother's health may decline before the age of 48. Now, talking about some of Ketu's malefic effects, which includes, children or grandchildren suffering from the dry skin diseases, chronic pain in the spine, boils or skin-related issues, joint pain, delays in childbirth, excessive worry about having children, ongoing, health problems in the person's wife, troubles from siblings, excessive fear of dogs, feeling like there are hidden enemies around, or experiencing minor damages to the roof of the house. Now, if Ketu becomes extremely malefic, the person begins to lose inner strength. They start highlighting their own weaknesses and show a tendency to praise others too much while lowering their own self-respect. Now, there may be a lack of self-awareness, inability to make decisions, repeating the same mistakes over and over again, and increasing mental stress due to missed opportunities. All of this may weaken the persons mentally, socially, and spiritually. We have now understood the general good and bad effects of Ketu. Now let's talk about which combinations or placements make Ketu benefic or malefic in a birth chart, and in such situation what remedies should be applied. Let's know most of the combinations that influence Ketu. Venus plus Saturn, Ketu becomes benefic. Saturn plus Moon, Ketu becomes malefic. Moon plus Ketu, it creates a lunar eclipses like yoga, which can weaken Jupiter. Moon plus Venus, Ketu becomes debilitated. Moon plus Saturn together, Ketu becomes malefic. If Venus is ahead and Mercury is behind in the chart, Ketu is benefic. But if Mercury is ahead and Venus behind, Ketu is malefic. If Ketu is in the 7th or 12th house, Saturn is considered malefic. For Ketu it's good, but for Saturn it's considered malefic. If Mars, Jupiter or Mercury, any of them, are in the 12th house, Ketu is considered debilitated. If Moon is in the 11th house, Ketu is malefic. If Ketu is in the 11th house, Moon becomes malefic. If Moon is in the 12th house, Ketu becomes negative due to pessimistic thinking. However, if positive thinking is developed, Ketu gives benefic results. Now let's talk about other conditions. Now if Ketu is ahead and Rahu behind in the chart, Saturn becomes malefic. If Ketu aspects Mars, problem may arise with siblings. If Rahu is benefic in the chart, it can bring positive effects to both Ketu and Saturn. If the Sun is negatively connected with Venus, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu or Mercury, the person may suffer from defamation or bad reputation. Also, when Sun plus Ketu are together, the person may rush into everything, develop, hearing problems, believe others too quickly, be unable to keep secrets and build a weak foundation in life. In such cases, remedies for the Sun becomes absolute necessary. Now, the combination of Sun plus Ketu or Sun plus Moon, it leads to a tendency to lose confidence while working and to abandon real duties. If Saturn, Rahu or Ketu aspect the Sun, it results in disrespect towards elders, dropping studies midways, a habit of finding flaws in everything, and lack of patience may be seen. In summary, when Ketu is malefic, one's inner strength weakens and important relations may break down. As I come towards the end of this discussion on Ketu Dev, I want to emphasize this. If Ketu is negatively placed in your birth chart, it is extremely important to understand its condition, notice its effects, and take the right remedies at the right time. The first thing to understand is that Ketu, just like Rahu, is a shadow planet. So there is no need to strengthen it directly. But if benefic planets like Jupiter or Moon or Yoga Karka planets have very little influence on Ketu, then it is useful to perform remedies to increase that positive influence. Likewise, if malefic planets like Mars, Saturn, or Rahu are aspecting or are conjuncting with Ketu, or if Ketu is producing harmful effects, then remedies for those malefic planets are necessary. Now let's move on to simple and household remedies for Ketu. You can wear ashwagandha root in a silver locket. What you can do is you can place a piece of ashwagandha root inside a silver locket, tie it using a blue cotton thread, and wear it on your neck or wrist. And this should be done early morning on a Thursday. It helps calm Ketu-related afflictions and bring belief to physical and mental issues. You need to strengthen Jupiter to make Ketu benefic. You can check the condition of Jupiter in your birth chart. Then doing Jupiter remedies like wearing a yellow sapphire, which is called Pukhraj in Hindi, or chanting Guru mantras is also very helpful. For improving physical health, moon-related remedies like wearing pearl or chanting moon mantras can be also beneficial. Now, these efforts, support mental balance and spiritual empowerment. If there are problems related to children, it is considered highly auspicious to donate a black and white blanket to a saint or ascetic, living in a holy place. For leg or urinary issues, you may tie a silver wire, around the big toes, thumbs of both feet. This helps reduce lower body ailments caused by Ketu. If Ketu is malefic and Mercury is also weak, then doing Mercury remedies such as wearing emerald or chanting Mercury mantras becomes extremely beneficial. This will improve mental clarity and brings order to one's behavior. Improving your conduct and behavior is crucial. When Ketu is malefic, the person's conduct can deteriorate. So it's essential to pay special attention to your characters and action. For physical issues like spinal pain, leg, knee, or lower back problems, it is considered helpful to wear gold, especially around the neck. You may keep a dog as a pet or serve dogs, because the dog is symbolically linked to Ketu and its care is believed to bring positive energy. You may also wear silver for mental peace. Wearing silver jewelry like a ring or chains helps keep the mind calm and reduces mental imbalance. You can also donate items related to Moon and Mars after checking their condition, definitely. Items like rice, pearls for Moon, and red lentils, red clothes for Mars can be donated. Now, this helps remove unexpected physical and mental problems caused by Ketu. Also, every morning, offer a banana at a temple for 43 continuous days can also be done. This reduces Ketu's negative effects. You can keep a square-shaped piece of gold somewhere suitable inside the home as well. Now, this helps maintain financial stability. You may also place pure honey in a silver pot and keep it safely in the prayer room or any clean area of the house. This is believed to maintain positivity and harmony in family relationships. According to Red Book Astrology, for 43 consecutive nights, you may place 11 radishes near the wife's head while sleeping and offer them to a temple the following morning. This remedy helps reduce Ketu-related affliction affecting the wife and may lead to improvement in her health. To calm Ketu's negativity influence, it is highly auspicious to visit temples regularly. Also, worshipping Lord Ganesha daily, especially before sunrise, since Lord Ganesha is the ruling deity of Ketu. His blessings remove obstacles and bring stability and in prosperity in life. You should be keeping the Brahmasthan of your home clean. The Brahmasthan refers to the central zone of your house, the point where the 5 elements of nature are said to be in balance. When this space is clean and free from obstacles, positive energy flows naturally throughout the home. If it is cluttered, dirty, or filled with heavy or unused items, it is believed to cause mental unrest, physical illness, and increase the negative impact of planets like Ketu. That's why this space must always be kept clean, open, and well lit. Now, if Ketu is in a malefic state and doesn't receive support from Jupiter, then it becomes absolutely important to strengthen Jupiter. In order to increase Jupiter's strength, you may need to engage in good deeds, spiritual practice, and positive thinking every single day. In addition, keep your characters clean, avoid any kind of bad habits, vices, or negative company. Always maintain a positive mindset and build a habit of keeping your room and home clean. All of these practices can significantly reduce the negative influence of Ketu. According to Red Book Astrology, it is believed that if a person sleeps on a bed they received from their in-laws, meaning wife from the wife's family side, that bed helps protect them from Ketu's malefic effects throughout life and doesn't bring any obstacles in having children. As long as that bed remains in the house, Ketu's influence is not considered harmful. Dear viewers, today we have completed an incredible, video with Ketu Dev, that mysterious power born from the Samundar Manthan, which had neither a head nor a full body, and yet its presence leaves an extraordinary impact. Ketu, the silent witness of our past karmas, one that cannot be seen and even science can't fully define. But the surprising part is, even though this planet is invisible, its influence is deeply felt at every major turning point in life. We learned when Ketu is benefic, it takes a person towards the deepest spiritual truths, a place free of greed, free of attachment, where only the lights of pure consciousness remains. But when Ketu is malefic, it causes one to lose themselves, get tangled in a web of illusions, and bring serious challenges to one's self-esteem, health, and relationships. By now, we understood which planetary combination strengthens Ketu, which ones weakens it, and we also explored practical household level remedies. Today's journey may be ending, but believe me, dear viewers, an ending is always the signal of a new beginning. If today you are able to understand Ketu, then definitely tomorrow you will begin to understand yourself more deeply. And on that day, you will realize Ketu was never here to confuse you. It was always trying to guide you towards your inner light. We often chase external glitter but forget to explore our inner truth. God has given us, all of us, intelligence and conscience. Let's use that wisely to walk the path of truth, virtue, and inner growth. That same inner wisdom gives life its true meaning and open the eyes to understand the science of invisible forces like Ketu. If today's video was enlightening or felt meaningful, please subscribe to my channel, click the bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming important videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts, experiences, or question, in case you have, in the comment below, because your one message can become our next journey's inspiration. We'll meet again with what happens if Ketu is in the first house. Till then, Jai Shri Ganeshaya Namaha.